1, 2, 3, 4. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on.
I was just thinking how our new logo would look really cool on, well, a hoodie or a T-shirt or a mug. We should do something like that.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we do. By the way, this is Mike and John Got It Going On.
It sure is.
Yeah.
And here we are, brought to you by Jordan Genso, community servant, community realtor, and official Gigo realtor.
And if you go to mikeandjohnpodcast.com, you'll find the merch section where you too can have this logo.
And you can use the term merch, which is short for merchandise.
Yeah.
Because that's how the hip people talk, isn't it?
You know, you
The
could
kids.
also, well, I was going to say you could call it swag, but swag is more, I don't know, stuff you get away for free. You got to pay for this. So it's not swag. Yeah, that's merch. Yeah, no, we're going to call it merch.
It's affordable swag.
Now, sometimes we will turn merch into swag.
With
like
a wave of a hand.
Yeah.
Boom.
Like at special events.
We should have a special event in which there's swag merch swag.
We have one coming up.
We do.
It's Mike and John night at Eternity Brewing, June 1st.
That's 1 week from tomorrow.
Wow.
How about that? It's coming up soon. Mark your calendar and be there.
Yeah. And you could find merch turned into swag.
Look at that.
Magically.
Yes, it's going to be a great night. We'll have details on that coming up. Also, we have a couple of people that are going to qualify for this week's drawing for Main Street May, put on by Jordan Genso, community servant, community realtor, official Gigo realtor, and last night's trivia. So we'll get to that in just a bit, your 2-cent history lesson. And we're going to talk to Steve Pilon.
Yes, from Arbol.
Yes.
Taqueria.
They should make a song called Taqueria. Not a Macarena.
Oh,
no,
okay.
no, I was going with Sangria. But anyway, we'll get to local
If you have enough
news.
sangria, you'll end up doing the Macarena.
You just may. Nobody does the Macarena
Yeah,
anymore.
no.
Thank goodness. It's a dance gone by. Let's see what's happening in local news. Brought to you this morning by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton.
All right, here's what's going on. The man who police say took his own life following a standoff in the Brighton Meyer parking lot did not have a gun. But further details on the man who authorities say was wanted on felony warrants have yet to be released, including his name and the cause of his death. Brighton Police Chief Brent Paracta says an update will be provided once the autopsy of the man's completed, but that could take a couple of weeks. The incident began Sunday at about 2:30 in the afternoon when Brighton officers investigating a U-Haul truck and a travel trailer parked on the north side of the Brighton Meyer store discovered the registered owner of the trailer, an adult male, had several warrants for his arrest, including one involving a weapon. Eventually, police had to break out a window of the trailer using a pole to put the camera inside. They saw the suspect was unresponsive. They made entry and found that he was dead due to suicide. Despite rumors on social media, police say no children were involved, nor were there any injuries to officers or citizens. Police also made a point to say at no time were shots fired by officers or at officers. A motorcyclist was killed and his passenger seriously injured in a crash Monday night in Hull Township. The Livingston County Sheriff's Office said deputies were dispatched to the area of West Grand River and West Highland Road about 10 o'clock in the evening for a vehicle versus a motorcycle crash involving injuries. According to a press release, a preliminary investigation indicated a Chevy Traverse traveling east on West Grand River failed to yield while turning into the Tomato Brothers restaurant. The Traverse was then struck by a 1993 Harley-Davidson traveling west on West Grand River. The driver of the Traverse, a 46-year-old Howell woman, suffered no injuries. The Harley-Davidson's driver, a 33-year-old Adrian man, was transported to Sparrow Hospital by Livingston County EMS with life-threatening injuries and was later pronounced deceased at the hospital. His passenger, a 69-year-old Howell woman, was also taken to Sparrow by Livingston County EMS with life-threatening injuries. The driver of the Traverse was not wearing her seatbelt at the time. Both motorcycle riders were wearing their helmets. Alcohol does not appear to be a factor in the crash, which remains under investigation by the Livingston County Sheriff's Office Traffic Safety Bureau. And that's what's going on.
And another reason to remember, it's biker season out there, and with the holiday coming up, keep an eye out. We did have a few people comment on that story. By the way, if you remember when you were kids, did you play like Slug Bug or anything like that when you were traveling?
Sure.
And one woman said that she used to do that as a kid, but with her kids now, they do that with bikers.
Right.
So they'll say like biker. And we used to call the VWs Herbs, like after Herbie the Love Bug, instead of slug bugs.
What
but
was
we
the-
didn't hit one another.
No.
No.
It'd be violent. I know you and your brother never.
No, we never fought, just like you and your
No,
brother.
Absolutely
I'm
never. Never at all.
Who won? Dad gets to take on the winner. News brought to you by our friends at Cooper and Binkley Jewelers. A reminder, too, they're in day 2 of a 3-day event going on, the Antiques Roadshow style event. So if you've got any old gold, silver, even diamonds that you'd like to sell to Cooper and Binkley Jewelers, now's the time to go in, get an estimate and what their value is, and they'll take care of you. Cooper and Binkley Jewelers, the Antiques Roadshow event going on today and tomorrow, the 24th and 25th. Yesterday was day 1. So if you have something sitting, are you taking apart your wedding ring?
Oh, what? No.
Did you just bite into it like UConn Cornelius? Nothing. Thin tin with gold paint. That's not going to get you very much. But if you've got real gold or silver and diamonds, take them on into Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton. Find out more online, cooperandbinkleyjewelers.com. And, of course, keep up to date with all the happenings on their Facebook page, Cooper and Binkley Jewelers. We did get a couple winners last night in Tuesday night trivia bonus prize night. I thought the weather was so nice. OG sponsors, Firehouse Doors, not only bring you trivia, but they give us some gift cards to give away, too, during trivia. They've been serving Livingston County for 25 years with unparalleled service and products. Gave us a stack of gift cards to give away, and I thought it was so nice yesterday. How about a DQ card?
Sure.
Some Dairy Queen, get a Blizzard.
Do we have an accounting of these gift cards? They were just handed over to you, and then
you gave them to me,
Yeah.
so I have what you gave to me, what you pocketed. And I know
see.
you would never
I see.
do that.
The fingers are pointing now.
You started to point them at me.
I know.
So up for grabs from last night's Tuesday night trivia, a $15 DQ gift card plus qualifying for the Main Street May with Jordan Genso, $100 in gift cards. The first one with the right answer will get the gift card. Anybody else that got the answer as well will go into the drawing on Friday.
Right. Our question, according to studies, and you know how studies are,
They study these questions.
women think they need to do this more than men, and they do it more often than men. What is it?
There were some great answers here. One that really caught my eye was, read instructions.
Well, that's a given. Let's face it.
Guys don't read the instructions until they're halfway
Until
through
we get
and
stuck.
can't figure.
Yeah.
Then we screw the instructions and we go to YouTube to see if there's a
This
video
is very true.
on how
This
to
is
do
very
it.
true.
Because it's easier to see somebody else do it than to read the instructions, which sometimes they're printed in 6 different languages or upside down. So that was a great guess. It's not it though.
No. Anne said change the sheets. That's... I mean,
We shamefully admit that is a great guess.
right. Because theoretically, we're like, well, yeah, I like clean sheets.
Sure.
Can't they just magically be changed?
Fly off the
And
bed
our
and
wives
into
go,
it.
yes, they are magically changed when I change them.
It's like turning merch into swag. is what it is. Terry said make dinners. Check in with a spouse. Maybe how's your day going?
Sure.
Or a friend or relative, those kind of things. Donna said go to the bathroom. I think that just depends on what you're eating. And sometimes men probably do that more as we get a little older. Check their phones, said Beth.
Brandon, along the lines of going to the bathroom, said, farting.
I hate to say this, but I think we all fart about the same.
I think that has been borne out by this studies.
really has.
Not this study, but
No.
other studies.
Mary said diet. I do think women are more apt
To pay attention
Well, yeah.
to what they're eating.
This isn't in my diet. Talk on the phone, son Renee. Tiffany said brush their teeth.
Danielle said check themselves in the mirror.
I don't know. Do you think that's... I think women are more likely to take a selfie.
I don't know about that.
You don't think so?
No, I don't know. I'm not saying it's not that case, but plenty of guys.
I guess it just depends on age, too, sometimes. Look how happy I am. Snap that shit.
I mean, I know I don't really check the mirror to see how my hair looks. No. So
Be a losing battle?
yeah, it's something there.
I just make sure I don't have an alfalfa.
Yeah. Our good buddy Drew
What did Drew have to say?
said, correct the husband. They feel a need to correct the husband.
Well,
That's because
you'd have to correct yourself if.
we need correcting usually. So.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why.
That was a great guess.
That's why
Drew
married
Goldberg.
men live longer.
Because our wives
Generally.
are fixing.
Yeah,
and
because our
correcting
wives
us.
are like,
Don't do it that
no,
way.
no.
Read the instructions or check out the video on YouTube.
That's right.
Take the sheets off the bed so we can wash those.
As we're like poised on one leg with a saw, power saw,
I got this.
in a pool of water.
No problem.
Yeah, no big deal.
Just hold the cord up. The correct answer. Let's see if there's a make to-do list or grocery list. That was a good guess. It's
Right.
not the right answer, but it's a great guess. I do that though, and I'm going to reveal my secret too. The grocery list. I kind of put it in order as how I go through the store.
Yeah, I do too.
Because I know the store. If
I
I
do
don't
the
know the
same
store,
thing.
it really messes things up.
Well, yeah. I mean, Kroger Meyer
You go into your
are my two. If I have to go to Aldi, I'm lost.
yeah.
You know, my wife, oh, that's at Aldi. Could you? Oh my God.
Don't go to IKEA. You'll never get out.
But then I find the meatballs, and I'm fine.
I'm just over here with the
just over here.
Swedish meatballs hanging out. Do they still even do that anymore?
I'm not sure. Yeah, so
Jeff said pay bills. I think
yeah.
women are more apt to pay bills. That's a great guess too.
At the beginning of our relationship with my wife, I was the one that handled the bills.
And that didn't last very long
And
because
then
they weren't getting paid.
And I had a system. Like, hey, that one's only on the second overdue. You still got another one.
You have a little file.
What's the problem here?
You got your
My wife would be
overdue
like,
rates.
this is overdue. I'm like, I know. They still got 2 more before they shut anything off. We're fine. We're fine.
They haven't come to claim the house yet. We're good.
Problem. God, overreact. Jeez.
Jeez, I wanted to get a big screen TV. Why pay the bill? The correct answer was apologize. Yeah.
And
Even
a
though
lot-
guys probably should more,
Right.
women do it more or think they should do it more, and they do it more. So our winners, the first one with the correct answer was Lauren Kovac. So congratulations,
All right.
Lauren. You'll be enjoying a DQ on us. Well, actually on Firehouse Doors, OG sponsor. And Terry Bueller also got the correct answer. Terry will be in the drawing on Friday, as will Lauren for those $100 in gift cards from Jordan Genso, official Giggle Realtor. So if you're looking to buy or sell here in Livingston County, Jordan has over 15 years of experience in the real estate industry with RE/MAX Platinum. He can show you what you're looking for. You let him know. He'll take you out on the tour. Or if you're trying to sell, he'll give you hints on what makes this more of a curb appeal.
Yeah.
How the inside should look. Get rid of the clutter. Is that why we got rid of the stuff behind us? Are we selling?
We're trying to drive up the price.
Relocate. We're driving up the price of this paradise. We are.
right.
That's it. But
Yeah.
Jordan would advise us on what to do if we were going to sell the Gigo podcast studios.
Yeah. Like, get all this out of here.
Just get out of the way. spray some Glade and get out. So sometimes it takes telling somebody to do
you know,
that.
that's the thing. Sometimes you have to give that stern advice.
You know, you have teenagers. This house is going to need an airing out.
You know-
Teenage boys, sure.
Yeah. I mean, my son, his room down here, he moved out more than a year ago. Still a little funky in there. I've opened the window several times to air it out.
Deep
I'm like,
cleaning.
still a little funky.
You know, they say that's inherited.
Yeah. That we're funky? The Funky Kings.
Yeah. It's a new group.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of do an eclectic mix
That's right.
of mambo and rap.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that what you guys do?
Oh, God, yeah. We'll be opening tonight at Captain Joe's.
Will you?
Yeah, for our own Susan.
Oh, is that tonight?
Yeah.
Susan's
Oh, no,
tonight?
that's Thursday night.
Yes, it is
I'm
Thursday
sorry.
night. Yeah,
That's my
so,
mistake.
So
yeah.
you'd be there early.
Yeah, we would be
the
there
Funky
early.
Kings.
But the Funky Kings, well, no, we won't. Susan, however.
Yeah, Captain Joe. It's our
Yeah.
own cougar performing.
Right. Whitmore Lake, Captain Joe's, Thursday night she'll be playing.
From 6 to 9.
Right.
Catch cougar. Should be a lot of fun. Okay, so the $100 in gift cards that we're going to draw for will be at Arbol.
Correct.
And those are courtesy of Jordan Jensen.
Right. And it's all part of Main Street May. He is focusing on a different downtown business each week in Brighton, of course, dealing with all the construction and everything they have to deal with. And so I wanted to highlight the various businesses this week. It is Arbol.
And, you know, Steve Pilon,
Taqueria.
is the chef.
Yes, he is.
At
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve, it's Mike and John. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, guys. What's happening?
Well, we were talking yesterday, and maybe you can recall this, the Iron Chef competition.
Gleaners.
Gleaners.
Were we not your helpers?
No, we were Eric's helpers.
Oh, were we?
Yeah, I don't think you guys were my helpers.
No, I think Stephen Bearden was your helper, right?
Oh man, you know what?
It's many years ago. Yeah,
that was many moons ago,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
participated in quite a few of them,
Yeah.
and won quite a few of them. But I don't truly remember who were my. I remember for at least 2 or 3 of the years. I always brought an employee with me to be a helper.
right, because you wanted to win.
Yeah.
Of course.
You're not
Isn't that
very
the ultimate goal?
You know how you chefs are. You're not very competitive at all.
No, not even a little bit.
So, hey, Gleaners is a great cause, of course.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we're going to pair up with some
Absolutely.
celebrity chefs. You're like, oh, great.
Oh, shoot.
And Eric got stuck with us, and that stacked the deck for you, I think.
Here, and the thing is, here, chop these up over in
Yeah.
the corner.
So I remember that
Right.
that Eric said, "Here, Mike, here's some celery. Grab some celery and just start cutting off the end. The butt end.
Oh, no
of it."
kidding.
And
So they put you on the super complicated.
yeah,
stuff.
and the good news is I didn't get hurt, but
Yeah.
my hands smelled like celery for like 2 days. Is there a way to get rid of that smell?
No, that was one thing my wife always said, because my hands would always come home and smell like onions.
Yeah.
She's like, you need to fix this, and happened for years and years. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, you could probably squeeze some lemon juice on it.
I tried that. And it just seemed like I was like, gosh,
Didn't
I
work,
smell
huh?
like celery. Is this?
Man, I think I'd rather smell like celery than onions.
This is true. So, hey, we were just talking this week, of course, Arbol is the featured business for Main Street May. Jordan Genso sort of distributing out gift certificates for downtown Brighton businesses. And so this week, all of our trivia winners are going to go into a drawing, and on Friday, we'll draw out that winner. And they'll go over to Arbol, and they'll pick up a gift bag with $100 of gift certificates to downtown businesses.
Nice.
Yeah, and so Arbol, of course, just a wonderful restaurant. If for folks that have not been there, I mean, you guys, it's a taco place. You're like, it's a little bit more than that. I mean, you've elevated tacos to an art.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily an art, but what we've done is we've actually brought it back to what it should be if you're going down to the streets of Mexico. We use all real natural ingredients. We don't have much refrigeration, very minimum freezer space. So what's coming in is going out really quick. But that's how you would find it down in Mexico.
Yeah.
A perfect example is, we get our corn brought in. Actually, it's an heirloom corn from Oaxaca, Mexico, that we nixed them all, which is soaking it in lime, not the fruit, but actually the mineral, and then we grind it. With the molino, which is has 2 volcanic stones, and it's grinded it into a paste, which makes the masa for our tamales. We just we've reversed it. Instead of just buying everything from the store, we actually produce everything from scratch.
You make your own, and that's what makes it nice and fresh. Yeah, and a lot more work too. And I think all the reviews I've heard, and people talking about Arbol, you never hear anything bad. That's for sure.
Well,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think I guess the times that I've been there, I look at the menu and I see some of the flavor combinations that you put together that are like, well, that looks interesting. I got to try that one. I mean, some things that you might not normally pair together, and then they taste really, really good.
Yeah, they do. And you know what? And I'm fortunate enough, me being a chef, as you guys well know, I was the chef owner of Wooden Spoon for 10 years. And prior to that, this is what I've done my whole entire life. I mean, I'm 55. I've been doing this since I was 12. So this is the only thing I've ever done. I've done the Culinary Olympics, gone to school. I traveled nationally, internationally, competing. And so this is my number one passion. And so when I was getting ready to open Arbol, I wanted to make sure I brought in a chef that I was compatible with. Because believe it or not, even though I'm a chef, I actually hired a chef to run the operations. And Steve Doc has been doing a great job with us. And he's got a sidekick, Nick Morin, that between the two of them, they're slaying it. And so we, as a culinary team, we bounce ideas off each other. It's a growing opportunity for them and for me still. to keep learning and pushing ourselves, because if we don't, we're doing something wrong.
And how many times have you had a big throwdown in the kitchen back there, Steve? I mean, you've got obviously, and I'm jokingly but serious too, in a certain sense. You've got guys like yourself that are chefs and have ideas and say, no, this is going to work better than that, and there's got to be a little bit of that tension, but it's in the end, hopefully coming out with the best product, the best tasting meal.
There's really never any tension, honestly. No, because I'm a very humble style person, and if you start thinking that you're the best, then you've created this ego about yourself, which shouldn't exist, in my opinion, because at that point you stop learning.
Yeah.
And so what we do is we really use it as a learning opportunity for all of us. And so we're always kicking ideas around all the time, nonstop. And that's the way I've always been.
I think that's what not only in the culinary arts, but in any business, when you can bounce ideas off of one another and see which one's going to come out on top, or be like example A, and then something else go, well, we could try that with a little twist of this, whatever it is.
And that's how we do it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's how we do it, because in the end result, everybody benefits. Us as chefs, because it's like, yeah, that flavor really kind of goes with that flavor. And then the customer on the back end of it. And then they're going to tell their friends.
Right.
And so it's a full circle, everybody wins concept.
Is there something that you guys have come up with that kind of surprised you as far as its popularity?
There is. It's funny you brought that one up. Steve, my chef, came up to me. He's like, hey, I want to do this peanut butter and jelly one. I go, what are you talking about?
I love it.
But what he did is he took it to a different level, and he brought in like all the Thai flavors. And so he did a spicy jelly with crushed peanuts and chicken. And it was like, when he approached me with this one, I said, you're crazy. But being open-minded, I have to step back a little bit too.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the one in the trenches every single day. And so I said, okay, let's see what happens. I'm that kind of guy that said, if it fails, we learned. If it was successful, we learned. So let's see what happens. And I'll tell you, he killed it. It was pretty awesome.
As a regular diner, it's not something you would think of off the top of your head. But like John said, you see these things on the menu, and you say, well, I wonder what that. Well, I know that's got to be something.
I know with some of the Thai combinations, like you said, often have that peanut sauce.
Yeah.
So that would be the Thai in there. So I could see it, but you're right. Off the top of your head, it's not peanut butter and jelly. What?
No, peanut butter and jelly. No, and then he took these Thai chilies. They made like a spicier jelly with it. It was cool. It really kind of shocked me as well. I was like, all right,
yeah,
you win.
Well, I think that's what people really enjoy about El Arbol or any of the restaurants or anything that that you're involved with, Steve, because you're not afraid to take a chance, and there are going to be some culinary adventures, and I think that's what people are looking for when they go out to eat. They want to try something new. I mean, we like the comfort foods and things. We like our regular stuff.
Got your go-to,
sure,
right?
But who doesn't like their steak and potatoes? Absolutely,
exactly,
100%.
But there are times you want to expand that palate a little bit. And,
John likes to get a little adventurous, with the food.
Well, I think you need to be, in my opinion. This is the way I've always thought about this. I think you need to be with the way people pre-pandemic used to be world traveling, for business and or all the television shows that are out there now that entail kind of cooking. So you really need to elevate your cooking game, in my opinion, because this is what people are watching on TV. This is what people are experiencing in other countries as they're on business trips or whatnot. And that was the whole principle behind Wooden Spoon. Right. I remember doing a crispy chicken foot ramen, and that's what it is. It's pushing it to the limits a little bit, because as we all know, Brighton, they like to experiment a little bit with their food, but they also like to be conservative as well. So you have to have there's a balancing act there all the time, nonstop.
Right, and I guess the thing that you were mentioning before about trying to make El Arbol sort of bring that flavor of real Mexico there. I mean, not only is it in the food, but I mean the atmosphere there as well. I mean, even the outside, it really looks authentic, and then inside everything is, you really get that sense, not just with the food, but with the atmosphere. And then, of course, the serving staff, always very friendly every time I've been there. And so always enjoy my time at Arbol. Now, I know you guys, like every other Brighton business right now, especially those on Main Street, you got a lot to deal with with construction. And, I'm putting a picture up I took just a couple of days ago of Main Street. And it looks like
Steve doesn't want a reminder of that, I don't think.
I mean, for people that, you look at that and you go, oh my God. They're redoing the whole thing in the streetscape. And once it's done, it is going to be beautiful. And boy, everyone's looking forward to that.
Yeah, we really hope they don't mess this one up.
Man, we're all in trouble.
Yeah. But in the meantime, you and other Brighton businesses, really working hard to
survive
keep it going. And I know, rolling out this Believe in Brighton campaign, was a big thing. And reminding folks that even though Main Street, is ripped up, there is still plenty of parking opportunities downtown, and folks should not be afraid to venture down and still enjoy places like Arbol.
Absolutely. If you look at the parking, let's start there first. If you just download the app, there's a City of Brighton app. I believe that you can get it on Android, you can get it on the Apple Store. And it shows you, it highlights you where all the parking is. There's actually quite a bit of parking. People are always complaining about the parking in Brighton anyways.
Right.
But nobody ever really, but let's call it like it truly is. Nobody ever really parked on Main Street because it was very rare you would ever find a spot up to park on Main Street. So, it's just a matter of looking at the interactive maps, following the City of Brighton on any form of social media. You're going to find plenty of parking in Brighton. And it's just being a little bit more resourceful. And for us, the way we looked at this, obviously it's going to look awesome when it's done. I'm a true believer the city needed to do this. A couple different reasons. A, infrastructure. B, when the surrounding communities are starting to look nicer than downtown Brighton, I think we have an issue.
Got to up the game, yeah.
Yeah, you got to up the game. And that's the way business runs too. And so, if your business is dragging behind, are you just going to keep dragging behind? No, you're going to up your game. You're going to figure it out. And that's the small business mentality. And so we looked at this as, okay, what do we need to do? It's another, I hate to say this, it's another form of COVID. Okay, let's dust off our playbook and figure out what else we can do to generate money. Obviously, with any of the other businesses, all businesses are down minimally 30%. That one is 100% guaranteed. All right, so how can you reduce that? And so for us, we opened up for lunch during the week, carry out only. But our full menu is available. We opened up the taco window. So when people do want to come down, maybe go up to the taco window, go sit in the amp, or go back to Imagination Station, there's still an opportunity. So it's just a matter of how do you regenerate these dollars that you've instantly lost?
Yeah, no, and actually, right,
step up to the challenge,
right? And the point is that Main Street is out of the question right now, literal Main Street. But all those other things, like the Imagination Station, all the other amenities that people love about downtown Brighton are still available, still open, and there's really no reason that folks should, not come down and enjoy places like Arbol and others, while this is going on. And again, we're all looking forward to when it's done, and it's going to be a wonderful thing. But in the meantime, we got to make sure businesses such as yourself, are still thriving in here, and so we just want to encourage folks to head on down.
I think Steve, you had a great point too. When you look at what parking on Main Street really was, what do you get? A couple of parking spots in front of a few businesses, so it really isn't the mainstay for parking. It's quick, it's convenient when it's available, but folks were having to park behind Chalamichi's and all the other businesses back there in those public lots. So. The parking, you still had to walk to where you wanted to go. And
absolutely you did.
So and it's bright. Let's face it, walking up and down Main Street, we've got a lot of great businesses to stroll by and through and spend some money.
Do.
Yeah, and Arbol is definitely one of them. So
before we let you go, Steve, I'm kind of curious because I know it was a big deal when Wooden Spoon, when you decided to close the doors on that. It had to be an emotional thing for you.
Oh, it truly was. Guys, I had a plan, and it was really a 10-year plan. My principal objective of when I opened Wooden Spoon was to expose Brighton to food. And at the end of the day, I felt like I did my job. I made a difference. And for sure, it was emotional. There was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into that property.
I bet. I know a lot of people were bumming when the doors closed,
It's funny, my daughter and I still talk about it often. She's the one who I own Arbol with, Lauren, but she was also my manager at Wooden Spoon. And I'll tell you one thing, it was really emotional. There was one day, it was like 10 o'clock, and they already started lining up out the door. Our computer systems went down, our hot water tank took, and she started crying. I said, honey, we're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. But, it was almost 10 years to the day that we were open. And it was a really awesome run. And I think at the end of the day, I did my job.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
did my job. I
exposed, I
exposed people.
Yeah, you did. There were many times, met friends at Wooden Spoon, and I don't think of all the times I was at Wooden Spoon, there was never a time that I had something twice. Not because it wasn't great, but because there was always something like, oh man, I got to try that. What is that? Oh my god. So yeah, you did expose, I think, a lot of people's palates to some different ideas,
some new and different things. Is that what led to Arbol?
It was, and I'm going to be very truthful and honest with you guys about this. I have a high level of ADD, ADHD, and I don't medicate. And so really what Arbol was, it was kind of a spin-off of I need to keep my brain busy.
Yeah.
It really was. And so when I had both restaurants going at the same time, that was pretty hectic for about 2 years. Arbol being open was not why Wooden Spoon closed, not even remotely. I had a 10-year plan. I did my plan. I sold it to a realtor. He turned around and sold it to another Mexican restaurant, but that's a whole nother story.
That makes you get the competition. You got to keep it on the top, right?
Yeah, right. But I spent all of my summers when I was younger out west, and so that's out in Arizona, New Mexico. So that's really I grew up with that style food, and so I always missed it because there wasn't anything locally that was really kind of fixing my palate. It wasn't, there wasn't anything there was like, okay, this is going to satisfy me. And so that's why Arbol happened.
Yeah. So, hey, what's any plans right now about the future, about new things, new horizons?
No, my wife gave me an ultimatum.
We know those go.
We've been there, Steve. All right. Gotcha.
No, I love her. I love her with all my heart. But she's like, Steve, you've done Wooden Spoon. You did Wooden Sport. If you guys remember my food truck.
Yeah.
And then Arbol, she's like, you've had 3 business opportunities in the last 20 years. That's really awesome. But as I look at it as a whole, the work, it is really tough in the restaurant industry anymore.
Yeah.
A, labor force, B, pricing of everything, paper, all your commodities.
Sure.
It's a really tough business. And I don't know if, at 55, do I really want to put myself through that level again?
Yeah, and I think when you mention that, because we're in the same age group with you there, you look at it and you go, how hard do I want to work?
How much harder do I want to work?
I hate to say that, but it's like you get to that point where it's like, I really don't have to prove much more anymore. You get to that point where it's like, okay, let's work our way toward easing into retirement or semi-retirement.
The next stage of life. Yeah, absolutely.
The next stage of life, absolutely, 100%. And let's, I've worked in this industry, as you well know, you miss the holidays, you're working 12, 14, 16-hour days. And I've done that for many years. And at some point, it was just like, I think I'm ready to kind of cut back a little bit. And if I were to open up another restaurant, as I did with Wooden Spoon, Arbol, it's in it to win it. And you're not going to, you're back to working 100-hour weeks. And it's like, wow, do I want to do that again? And it's just like, don't get me wrong. I have about 100 business ideas floating around in my head at any given moment. But I just can't, I don't know if I want to do that to my family.
Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Totally understood.
Bottom line, that's what it breaks down to is family.
I guess the good news is for folks is that the focus is on Arbol then. That's the focus right now. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So people can come and enjoy Arbol in downtown Brighton and all the great offerings there as well. And as we said,
get your lunch to go while the work's going on.
Yeah, and the taco window's open.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We open at 11 o'clock. You can actually order online. You can get the full menu at 11 o'clock, or you can just stroll up to the taco window and, any of our tacos are available as well. Or you can even stroll up to the window and order off the menu. Pull it up on our website.
Right.
Very good.
I think every business needs a taco window.
Steve doesn't.
That location was number one. The first item I saw when we looked at that location was, we need a taco window there. That was the first thing. And then you start building off those business ideas, because El Arbol was originally only supposed to be the first floor. Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew this.
Yeah, I did not. Yeah, and you got the both floors going.
Yeah, we ended up with both floors. Mike Horgan and I ended up sitting down, and we struck an awesome deal. And so took the apartment out upstairs, and there you go. We ended up with it as a 2-story restaurant.
Very cool.
And then I don't know if you know this story, but I'm sure you do. El Arbol means the tree in Spanish, and that's basically us paying homage to Yum Yum Tree because they were such a huge staple in the community for so many years. And we wanted to be that place. We wanted to be that place where you bring your family and have a good time.
And you have become that,
yes.
I think, for sure.
And he gave people a little trivia, something to talk about with El Arbol, meaning the tree. And I took Spanish, and I couldn't remember that. So that was a long time ago, Steve.
But he can count to 10.
Yes, I can.
Oh, well, that's pretty sticky. You're above me on this one.
All right. Well, Steve Pilon, El Arbol, thanks for joining us again. And on Friday, we'll draw a winner from our trivia questions, and they'll stop by El Arbol and pick up the gift bag from Jordan Genso with $100 of gift certificates in it.
Steve, it's been a
Sounds
blast,
great.
buddy. We
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yep,
I
anytime.
appreciate you.
Take care.
Have a great day.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was a lot of fun. Learned a little something about El Arbol if you haven't been there yet.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, of course I knew it was the tree.
and it was a tribute to the Yum Yum Tree. We knew that, right?
Well, it's true. But I like what he said at the end, though,
nice
about the Yum
timing.
Yum Tree, because, when my kids were younger, we used to love to go to the Yum Yum Tree, and they had an ice cream parlor and a little train that choo-chooed around the place. And so that was a cool little place. And now it's, it's something different, obviously, but it has that same atmosphere. So, yeah, very cool.
All right, coming up, speaking of events and places to be, June 1st, 1 week from tomorrow, Thursday, it's Mike and John night for the Mike and John Brew for the Walk to End Alzheimer's. And we're signing up people for our Mike and John Got It Going On walk team.
That's right.
And we will have some of that swag merch swag.
Yeah,
the official Mike and John walk team shirts.
Right. And when you sign up, for the Mike and John team, you'll make your donation right there. And part of that donation, of course, will get you your walk shirt. And all the proceeds are going to go to the Walk to End Alzheimer's, which will be held September 30th in downtown Howell. But June 1st, Thursday, at Eternity Brewing, that's the place you want to be. And, of course, the Mike
John will
and
be
John
singing
Brew.
and dancing.
Well, after I have a few Mike and John ales. Yeah, for sure.
And we're going to all sample that Mike and John ale.
Right. And, of course,
going to be fun.
This was voter approved.
Sure.
All right. So
votes tabulated.
Yeah,
official.
Most people wanted to have that option for the lemon, peach, and black tea combination, which we talked to Ethan Weitzel earlier this week from Eternity Brewing, and he said it's going to be something unique.
Kind of like us, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah. Yeah. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Bring your family and friends. Should be a great time. And, of course, raising some funds, too, for the Walk to End Alzheimer's. I know some of the champions are going to be there as well from last year's walk.
Right.
You can get all the details. While you're there on this year's walk, going to be in Howell, which, for years it's been in downtown Brighton. And
for reasons we just discussed.
Well, there's that, and they're looking to make the Walk to End Alzheimer's kind of more of a county-wide thing.
Let me remind you what Main Street looks like.
Yeah, and if it rains, your shoes would be awfully muddy, so we're working on a different route.
So, downtown Howell this year, September 30th. And again, Mike and John Night is June 1st. And then also coming up June 11th in Howell on the courthouse lawn, they're going to have the block party. To end Alzheimer's, and that'll sort of help along the walk information and get more people signed up as well. So lots of activities going on, and we'll be kicking it off on June 1st at Mike and John Night at Eternity Brewing. So we definitely want to hope to see you there.
No, we just hope to see.
We
you
just
there.
hope
we
to
don't
see
want
you
to
there.
hope,
or we definitely want to see you there, or we hope to see you there, but we don't want to definitely hope to see you there. Although I guess you could say,
if you want to say that,
definitely
you go ahead. You've said it 6 times. So.
You know how you say something over and over and then it starts to sound really weird?
No. So anyway, today is May 24th.
I got to stop drinking straight vodka.
May 24th. It'd be nice if that June 1st, if we could get a beer on the morning podcast.
Oh, the morning of.
The morning of.
That we could sample.
Yeah, and just make sure it's A-OK for everybody.
Well, I'll get in touch with you.
We'll work on that.
Maybe we can, yeah.
Today is May 24th. It's International Women's Day for Peace and Disarmament.
Good luck with that.
All right. It's National Escargot Day.
No, thanks.
No? Don't want any
No, we were talking
snaps?
about, having a adventurous
Yeah, you
palate
like
and trying to.
adventure.
I will
No
say, now, there's a
escargot?
lot of things I've tried. I have tried escargot, and I was like, no.
Is it salty?
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Look, anything that ends in O but the actual letter is in T,
Yeah.
I don't eat.
Well, they're snails. So
Well,
it's
National
hard to
Snail
get
Day.
away from that.
Hey, how about a plate of snails?
It really is hard to get away from that. It's more of a mind thing. I'm sure they tasted wonderful, but my brain was like, you're eating a snail, you're eating a snail, you're eating a snail.
It's moving on my plate very slowly. It's World Schizophrenia Day today, too. On this day in 1830, Mary Had a Little Lamb
Did she?
was written.
Oh, I heard it was white as snow.
Yes. Mary Had a Little Lamb. Go ahead, John. Tell the rest of the poem.
Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. And everywhere the Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. Now, let's do the version
We're not to Andrew Dice
or
Clay.
Andrew Dice Clay.
I don't. Did he have? one?
I don't know if he
I
did
don't think
one.
he had one for Mary Had a Little Lamb.
It was
He
Little
might
Bo
have.
Peep.
Yeah. There's old Mother Hubbard. There's Little Bo. Yeah, Little Bo Peep.
All right, we'll move on.
And along came a spider. 1844.
What's in the bowl? All right.
Escargot. Samuel F.B. Morris. Did you know Samuel's middle initials were FB?
We talked about this before.
It's for Facebook. Samuel
was
Facebook Morris
Very forward-looking guy.
sent the first
Yeah.
Morse code telegraph message. His friend Samuel Jackson learned how to swear in code.
Now, do you know what FB stood for?
First base.
Well, that's not what Mrs. Morse said.
What did
It stood for Finley Breeze.
Oh, really? That was a Finley Breeze.
Finley
it sounds
Breeze.
like a
Samuel Finley Breeze Morse.
Yeah, you can get your laundry soap and
Finley Breeze. It sounds
Finley
like a
Breeze.
40s baseball player.
Finley Breeze
Finley
playing
Breeze.
second base for the Red Stockings.
Anyway.
1899, the first auto repair shop opened in Boston. That's in 1899. Get the phone call. Yeah, my car's making a funny noise.
Yeah.
It's 1899. They all make funny noises.
And if your car in 1899 or now is experiencing trouble, of course, the place to go is Murphy's Family Auto.
It is. If you want to get that oil changed for the Memorial Day weekend,
Yeah, absolutely.
get your brakes checked, tires made sure that they're good to go and filled up to the right PSI, which does not stand for Finley Breeze.
No, per square inch. I knew that.
Yeah, way to go.
I learned it at Murphy's Family Auto. Of course, go online.
Small
Murphy's
conversation
Family.
with Glenn. Glenn,
Glenn's
what's PSI
Glenn's
stand
like,
for?
yeah, per square inch.
Golly gee, Glenn.
Could you go now? I'm trying to
Pounds
work on
per
some
square
cars here, okay? Dear Lord. This guy keeps hanging out and asking me what PSI means. Check him out online, murphysfamilyauto.com, or give him a call, 517-552-3040. Open Saturdays 8 to 1. Tell him Mike and John sent you. You'll save 5%. All right, thought I'd slip that in.
1921. Smooth. Yeah, like a baby's bottom.
Yeah.
The first loaf of Wonder Bread was made. 1921 on this day. Wonder Bread. I used to eat Wonder Bread all the time.
Not now.
Build strong bones.
Yeah. I mean, now.
Now you got to have a little grain.
Yes, you do.
Multi-grain.
Well, you look at
Get the fiber.
Think about Wonder Bread, right? You look at it now.
Wonder
And you're
Bread's
like, what is this? It's like spongy.
It's like sponge
It
bread.
doesn't even really feel like real bread.
It was
But at the time,
the best thing since sliced bread. Wonder Bread was back then.
My mom never got Wonder Bread.
1935. The first Major League Baseball game was played at night. Took place at Cincinnati's Crosley Field as the Reds beat the Philadelphia Phillies 2-1.
At night.
Right.
SpongeBob reference.
Here's one that might spark a memory or two from almost 30 years ago.
Okay.
1995, Hollywood madam, Heidi Fleiss.
Oh.
Remember Heidi Fleiss?
Sure.
Sentenced to 3 years in prison and fined $1,500 for running a call girl ring
She
centered
just-
to the rich and famous.
To pay the fine, she just signed over a check that Charlie Sheen wrote her. Oh, here you go.
and that was just the tip for one of the
Right.
girls. Yes.
Hey, now.
Big news in music on this day in 1997. The Spice Girls went to number 1 on the U.S. album chart with Spice, making them only the third all-girl group to do so. The other two? Any
Go-Go's?
guesses? Go-Go's are one.
Okay.
Stop. In the name of love, John King.
I was going to say them.
The Supremes is what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Yes.
I kept on. I heard
So
Diana
that's-
Ross. I'm like, oh yeah, Supremes.
As much as they may have been mocked, that's
The
saying
Spice Girls.
something.
Oh,
yeah, Spice Girls.
Oh, they were a thing there for.
Yeah, tell me what you want, what you really want. Oh, I'll tell you what I want, what I really want. 1997 as well. Hanson started a 3-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles chart. Bop. Yeah, the brothers went to the U.S. and during COVID, I don't know how I stumbled upon this, but during COVID, they did a bunch of remakes of classic rock songs, and they actually sounded very good.
No, the band.
I mean, they could-
as musicians, they
Again,
were
they were mocked,
always.
but-
Yeah, they were mocked at the time. I mean, it's But
And they're 40-something now, those Hanson kids. Very talented family.
it was one of those.
It was catchy.
earworms.
Yeah, it
you're
really
like,
was.
Okay.
And this is, it's not a history moment, but it could be history making.
Okay.
This is good news for those of you that use Kraft singles. In a move that could rock the nation, the world, the financial markets.
Really.
Kraft Foods has announced that they are fixing one of the biggest complaints about their cheeses. They're making Kraft singles easier to open. You know how sometimes
This can be a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
can't find that thing. The plastic wrapper
Right,
on the slices of cheese.
And you're like trying to flick the end of it open.
In their press release, I can't believe this wasn't on last night's NBC Worldly News. The company says the number one complaint from customers is the inability to easily unwrap the clear wrapper. And thus sometimes you have a little bit of cheese stuck to that wrapper when you finally get it open. So now they've redesigned the flap.
Oh.
On each side, it adds a little texture so you get a little grip. It's also a little thicker and sturdier so you don't hurt the cheese. Because there's nothing worse than hurting the cheese.
Well, no, you don't want to hurt the cheese. Wow. I
And
wonder
it won't get torn.
how many millions were spent on this research project?
I bet they spent
Yeah.
a lot. Well, let's say you got your hamburger there and you're going to slap a piece of Kraft cheese on it.
Right.
And you're trying to get that thing open before the hamburger burns. And then you get pieces.
Now-
and it's just not a full
I agree.
picture full.
Okay, so they've responded to the
Yes,
consumer
it's a
demand
consumer
to do something
needs.
about this, but there's a further thing they need to do. They need to make that wrapper quieter.
Oh, so
Because
nobody
whenever,
hears you.
yeah, my pet, my dog, here's that thing, Fa-choom, right in there. Hey, having some cheese?
I see you got the cheese
Yeah, so
there.
you got the cheese out.
You're my cheese daddy.
You only get cheese when you have a pill. Okay, so
Maybe they'll come up with little Kraft stuffers
Yeah. They
that
really
you can put the pill in. A little roll, a piece of cheese.
hey,
you
Kraft,
unwrap
these
it.
are ideas for free.
That's right.
Yeah.
Stuff the pill in there. There you go. That's your 2-cent history lesson and some for
Well,
today.
there you go.
All right.
Quite a
that's-
show.
Let's get out of here.
All right,
I'm fixing my papers, ready to go.
okay. You look
Hit
like
the
Dennis
ending.
You look like Dennis Miller at the end of Saturday Night Live, and I am out of here.
That was my letter.
All right, we're back Thursday with the less you know, Rich Perlberg, and
The less.
whatever. Ta-ta.
Hit the song.
Giggling with Mike and John. Tune in next time and giggle on.